never known. Don't know where it goes, but it's home to me and I walk alone. I walk this empty street on the
It was almost the end of 2099, and the survivors were exhausted. They had been spending the last 2 years walking around through the leftovers of what was once New York. It pained them to see how everything changed so suddenly. They were extremely hungry. They had been looking for food for days and couldn't find any. They were also very thirsty and had too little water. If you looked at each of the survivors' heads, especially Violet's, you could see how they were all conscious that what was happening was their fault. They were all pretty skinny with long faces and dirty hair. The survivors were a group of 6 people: Drew, Tommy, Val, Pauline, Ebony, and Violet. They had been friends for years, and now they were going through a tough experience. They had all concluded that all the damage that was present was their fault, and they really regretted everything they'd done. Violet had been the one that had been the most affected by the whole situation. It was pretty late, and it was time to get some rest. They had a big day ahead. The 6 survivors' favorite part of the day was getting some sleep, since they got to relive and get back some memories from good and distant times. Once they fell asleep, they all had the same dream. It was a normal day in a human's daily life. They started the day by being woken up by a robot who told them the time. It's 6:01. It's 6:01. The robot carried each one of them into the shower and laid them down. Once inside the shower, a new robot appeared. The robot spoke up. "Hello, I'm Mary. Today I'll run your shower." Each one of them closed their eyes and relaxed, while machines did all the work for them. Then, all of them went to the main hall, where the breakfast was already baked for them. While dreaming, Violet regretted how she misused water while showering and how she threw food away. It pained her. At the table in the main hall, the group of friends had the first conversation of the day. Drew said, "I'm pretty worried. I saw in the news that thousands of animals are dying every day. We're running out of water." After hearing the news, Tommy said, "We should do something about it. At this pace, we'll run out of resources." Everyone stayed quiet after the sad news. After eating their breakfast, 10 robots came down and some brushed their teeth, while others picked up the plates and took them to the kitchen. They all woke up again from their dream and felt terrible. They missed those comfortable times where technology and machines did everything for them, but they know really well what technology is and how it made them lazy. They all stood up quietly while reflecting on their actions. They started reflecting on their actions and what they could have done differently to avoid the situation they were in. They continued walking in silence, avoiding any type of conversation. They walked for miles and miles and miles, until Violet stopped everyone. "Hey guys, look at this," Violet said while looking at some grapes. "What are these?" said Pauline while admiring the food they had just found. "I don't think it's safe to eat them. It's pretty weird," but there are 6 exact grapes, like each one of us is meant to eat a grape, said Bill. Immediately they all knew what Bill's grapes were for, but they were not really afraid. They knew these grapes could end with their suffering and that they were the only way out. Each survivor picked up one grape and took the time to look at it. They moved it around their dusty hand and they took the time to think. They knew the decision was made. It was the only way out of this earth. Oh, how they wished they could go back, but they couldn't. They could only go forward, and the only way of doing it was eating the grapes. They weren't certain if the grapes would kill them, but they had hope. They just wanted everything to be over. They deserved it. They all sat in a circle and looked at each other. You could tell they were nervous by the look on their faces. They knew they had to say something before eating the grapes. They felt like they were in their own funeral. Pauline took the lead and said, "Thank you guys for everything, for being by my side through hard times, and thank you for being my friends. I want to apologize to planet Earth for misusing the resources it gave me, and I hope this ends soon." There was a long silence, and Val started talking. "Pauline, those are very nice words. I also want to thank you for your friendship, and I'm glad it was you that helped me to get over these hard times, and I want to thank you for giving me the chance to know you. I want everyone to know that I regret all the damage I've done to Earth. I'm sorry." Everyone was speechless, and there were no more words left to say. Suddenly, Violet said, "We're the survivors of the future." Those were the last words that a human being ever said.